Welcome back, grade 3. I hope that you had a great break. If you celebrate Eid, happy Eid. Let's get started on our learning for this week. I know that we only have 2 days, so it's a shorter week. So we're just going to do a bit of writing today for ELA. So today you're going to choose one of the formats that we've learned about so far in grade 3 to tell me what you did during your Eid break. So we learned a lot of different ways to write. You can choose whichever one you want. I'm just going to highlight a few different ones you could choose from, but really if it's something that we've done in grade 3, you can do it, okay? So here are some options. You only have to choose one to do. If you're feeling brave, you can do more than one and send me more than one. That's up to you, but you only have to choose one of these options, okay? So the first one is informational, so maybe you're going to teach me about Eid. Second is the journal entries we learned about, so maybe you're going to write journal entries about what your days looked like. Third is poetry, so maybe you'll write an acrostic poem or a haiku or a cinquain about your break or about Eid. And 4 is choice, so we'll talk a little bit more about that. So let's review the rules for each piece of writing because we're not just going to go for it. We want to get our ideas down, but there are still rules we have to follow when we do each of these pieces of writing. So let's remember what those are. So for informational writing, remember that you have some things that you need. It's nonfiction, so it is not made up. You are using facts to tell the truth, okay? So you need to start with a topic sentence. This tells the reader exactly what they're going to be reading about. So maybe you start with Eid is a time of celebration, or did you know that Eid is celebrated at the end of Ramadan? Then at least 3 different facts about the topic. 3, okay? So maybe you're going to talk about, for your first fact, what you do during Eid. Maybe the second one is one of the traditions that happens during Eid. Maybe the third one is why Eid is so important. Things like that, okay? And remember, you're going to go into detail. You're going to use as much detail as you possibly can because we're in grade 3 now. We're about to go into grade 4, and we will be expected to put lots and lots of detail into our writing. Remember that juicy words are always very helpful. And for number 3, a closing sentence that links back to your topic. So reminds everyone what it's about. So maybe these are some reasons why Eid is so awesome. There will be a template uploaded that you can use to plan out your writing if you choose to do informational. Now, if you choose to do a journal entry, remember that you're talking about your day or what happened. It's usually nonfiction, so you're not really making this up. I know we did when we talked about traveling to one of our countries that we studied about, but this time, because we actually just had our Eid break, you're going to tell me what actually happened. So you need to start with the date. So if you're writing about a certain day that happened during Eid, try and make sure you use that date, okay? Or if you're talking about it as if it was in the past, you can use today's date. Number 2, a title that tells the reader what the journal entry is about. So maybe my wonderful Eid or my Eid break. Number 3, the details. You need to use juicy words, and adjectives and write about everything that happened in detail. Remember, I wasn't there. You're telling me about what happened. I can't just know if you went to a beach or if you saw your cousins. I can't just know that all of a sudden. You have to tell me in detail what happened. The who, what, when, where, and why. Remember those questions. Those will help you to make sure you have enough detail. If you can read it back and you can answer who was there, what happened, when was it, where was it, and why was it important, then you have enough detail, okay? Lastly, your opinion, how you felt. What was your favorite or least favorite part? I will also put up a template that you can write this on if you would like to use it. Otherwise, any of this writing can just go right into your home learning journal, okay? So poetry, we did 3 different types of poems. You can choose any of them, you can choose all of them, that's completely up to you. If you choose to do poetry, there will be templates you can write them on as well, or just into your home learning book. So remember, acrostic, you're going to choose the word that you're going to write downwards. So remember, if it was acrostic, the A would go at the top, the C would go underneath, R, O, S, T, I, C, so that you can write things across from each letter. So maybe it'll be Eid, or maybe celebration, or food, something of that sort. Then each line needs to be a phrase or a sentence. We are in grade 3. We are not just going to put a juicy adjective. We are going to write a sentence or a phrase that goes with it, okay? Haiku. 3 lines. The first one has 5 syllables, the second one has 7 syllables, and the third one has 5 syllables. This needs to be about Eid or what you did during the break or something that you saw, heard, made, ate, etc. There is a template as well that you can use for this. If you choose to do it in your home learning book, remember that they look like this, okay? The first line, because it's shorter and only has 5 syllables, it goes in the middle like this. The second line kind of stretches out on both sides, and the last line goes back in the middle there, okay? And for the cinquain, there are 5 lines. The first line has your noun or subject, so maybe Eid, maybe something you ate, something like that. The second line has 2 adjectives about it. Third line has 3 verbs that go with it. The fourth line has 4 words, only 4, about how it makes you feel. So maybe made me feel happy, made me feel special, made me feel celebrated, something like that. Line 5, 1 synonym for the subject. Remember, we learned what synonyms are. They are words that mean the same thing. Needs to be about Eid or what you did during your break. Underneath this YouTube video, I'll put the links to our lessons for each of these things, just in case you want to watch them to remember how to do it, or you want to try a different level for the ones that we had different levels for. So there'll be our journal entry lesson up. I'm going to try and find the informational one, but I don't believe we have a video for that one because it was before we started our online learning, okay? All right, and then final option is choice. You can write a song or a story or something else, but you still need to write more than a few sentences. If you're writing a story, it needs to have all of our aspects of a story that we learned about: characters, settings, key events, a problem, and a solution. It doesn't have to be nonfiction. This story can be completely made up, but it still has to be about Eid or your Eid break. Some of it can be pretend though. If you're writing a song, you can look up how to write lyrics, or you can take the words to your favorite song and change them so that they're about Eid. There may be a template for this. I'm trying to look for one. If not, just do it right in your home learning book, okay? And remember that you still need to, regardless of which type of writing you're choosing, you need to be checking your capitals and your spelling and your punctuation, just like we always would. Don't send it to me until you are satisfied that it shows me what you know about how to edit your work. So if you send it to me and you have not used any capitals, I'm going to be a little bit worried because we spent a long time talking about capitals. Okay, so remember to think back to mince if you need. It teaches you, each letter teaches you which words need capitals. All right, have lots of fun.